Hey everybody, this is Miss Florida Hot Picks here, giving you guys an update for your Pick 4 North Carolina workout. We're going to be using a 3175 rundown, okay? This was requested by our members, and I wanted to make sure I give you guys a really cool update. I want to tell you something. North Carolina is one of my favorite states for Pick 4. The patterns are so really cool. Sometimes they're very simple. And I'm not saying that it's always going to be like that, but pay attention to a few key things, okay? All right, the first thing I want to take you to, let me make sure we're doing this right. I want to see where I should start with you guys. But we're going to start with October 14th, and then I'll kind of work my way around, okay? Because I want you guys to see something. All right, let me get my pen here. All right. So with October 14th is our starting point, midday or your day game. You guys had a hit of 9567. So notice how I put that 9567 across. And then what we're going to do to fill out the grid to get all those wonderful numbers here is we're going to add each of those numbers down each column, okay? So if you're not sure how to count it out, it works like this. The first column, we're going to add 3 all the way down. So 3 plus 9 is 12. For your 2-digit number, only use your 1s plus your 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. Only use your 1. Okay. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. Again, for your 2-digit numbers, only use your 1s plus your 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. And 6 plus 3 is 9. You know that you did it right. The number you start with will be the number you end with. Okay, and then we're going to add 1 all the way down the second column, 7 all the way down the third column, and 5 all the way down the fourth column. Okay, so real simply, make sure you guys are paying attention to your left side. Sometimes on the left side columns, the first 2 columns, we'll see either doubles or mirrors. In this case here, you see a 8, 8. Okay, you'll also see its mirror form 3, 3. 8 and 3 are really the same number, they're just opposite of each other. So make sure you guys know what your mirror numbers are. Okay, so your mirror numbers are as follows. A 0 could be a 5, or 5 could be a 0. 1 could be a 6, 6 could be a 1. 2 could be a 7, 7 could be a 2. 3 can be an 8, 8 can be a 3. 4 can be a 9, and a 9 can be a 4. Okay, so make sure you guys have that stuff now, because you're not going to always see doubles. Sometimes you're going to see mirrors. Okay, some people don't know that. It's literally, when you look at rundowns, after a certain point, all the numbers are mirrored. Okay, like it starts at 9567, but after a certain point, it mirrors itself to a 4012. See? Totally different numbers. They're the same, they're just opposite. Okay, so everything from that point is mirrored. Some people don't know that, so in case you didn't, now you know, right? Okay, so I've noticed with North Carolina, your left side doubles or mirrors could be giving you some cool patterns, meaning you start with the double either on its first column or the second column. You're either going to go up, or go down, downward, or upward. Literally the 4 straight numbers. They don't always happen this perfectly, but just watch this. So you're starting with your first column here, starting with the double 8. So 8, 1, 4, 7. Write that down. You can do 8, 9, 0, 1. If you're going to the top, maybe 8, 5, 2, 9. And then 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay, so let's say you use those particular numbers. Well, guess what? The next draw, literally the next draw was 1487. 1487. Now, I wanted to start this date because I want you to know this was coming. And I want to share with you how this number traveled. Okay, sometimes when you see this, it doesn't mean that it's going to hit automatically. Sometimes it pops up a few times. So yeah, we see it from here. We see this 8147. It popped up finally that evening of October 14th, 1487, but it didn't start there. This is why tracking and backtracking is so important, North Carolina. Okay, so I'm going to go back. Let's go back a day. Okay, let's go to October 13th. You notice here, there's a 1-6 now. Okay, so you have a 1-6. Now, if we're using that, I would look at 1470 could have been something. I probably would have wrote that down, right? 6789. If you're just using all four up, 1852 could be something, maybe 6543. Okay, could have been something, right? But it didn't quite work out. They had it that 147 didn't go 1470. It kind of veered off to 1478. So this was another thing telling you that this was coming. Okay, but I'm going to take you back to the draw before that. Same day. Let's look at the day game. You guys had a hit of 5870. Now you see this. Okay, look at this, 7418. This time it's going up. Okay, 7418. All right, so what I'm trying to tell you is sometimes these things will come up a couple times. They may be moving up, moving down. When you see similar numbers that are moving up and down, North Carolina, those are the things you want to pay attention to. But let's go back a day before that. Let's go to October 12th. You notice here, you'll see the same thing, 72. You see a 7418. Okay, again, it was coming. And in that midday, you see 8147. So you see this 1, 2, 3, about 3 to 4 times. And this one, it veered off just a little bit. This was kind of like a throw off right here. I wanted to take you through those steps because that's how these numbers are moving. You hear of traveling numbers, right? We say traveling numbers, you know, maybe those particular digits will play in one state and then they'll kind of travel to something else. Well, in our rundowns for some states and a lot of states, people don't understand the numbers are always, they're moving. They're moving. So when you see something that's repetitive, okay, you saw this 88 here, right? There was an 88 here. That was a key giveaway that something here was going to pop up simply because it repeated itself. Okay, so your job would have been to look at everything down or maybe upward, okay, because it popped off again. Let's look at the 7-2. Notice how there's a 7-2 here, 7-2. They're the same numbers going up or going down. So you had this at least 3 to 4 times telling you, pay attention to those groups of numbers, okay? It could be that simple. It's not always. I don't want to sit here and trick you and say, that's all I have to do, Miss Florida. No, I want you guys to look for things that are repetitive. Now, the pattern shape can always change. I noticed they're going straight up, straight down, straight up. That's true. Let's see if they'll continue that, okay? The most important thing is to play on paper, keep track daily. So just from that one hit, this thing for 2 days was traveling through the rundowns, okay? So hopefully that'll give you a better understanding of how your backtracking is so important. This is how you find patterns. And then you're going to discover more patterns. Is this the only pattern you're going to see? Absolutely not. Let me show you a number 2 pattern. Let's go to October 14th, okay? Or no, let me take it to October 16th, okay? You guys had a hit of 3882 midday. Now this was a little different. You guys had a false trip here. Look at this 833. I notice sometimes with false trips, it can tell you that maybe there will be doubles inside of the number, okay? And here you see this 8322. Well, this 8322 came out 8223. But this wasn't the first time it presented itself. Watch this. Let's go to October 14th. I'm working backwards for a reason, okay? Because I want you to see how these things pop up sometimes more than one time. But we have to what? Catch it. okay? At least one more time before, right? So look at this, 8322. So whenever you guys see like a false trip or something, go back to see if you see like the mirror version 83 and see if they'll continue on with this particular pattern. So that's two different patterns here. Again, it just depends on what's going on. You have to study. You're seeing patterns that are just going straight up, straight down, okay? Straight up, straight down. All right. And then you have something that kind of including doubles. So you have to think about that because North Carolina could be hot on those doubles sometimes, right? There's one more. There was a hit of 0989, and I wanted to simply show you where that was because everything was kind of on the left side of the grid. And it's still on the left side, but they used the second column this time and it veered off. So look at this 890. I would have went 8901, right? Because I'm just going straight down. But they veered off a little bit, 8909. Sometimes when you think doubles are playing, pay attention to anything that veers off that could duplicate itself with one of the first three numbers. Okay, so look at that. You got that 8909, 0989, and that played October 13th. So there was two hits from this particular chart. Okay, so what am I telling you? Study, 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 study. Okay, you have to study. I cannot stress that more, and just make sure that you play on paper first. Okay. But yeah, look for things that are what? Repetitive. That's so important. All right, and pay attention to your patterns. Well, North Carolina, I hope this is a little helpful tip. Let me know how you're doing with it in the comments, and we'll see you guys on the next video.